Let's dive into this week's edition of our ACC Power Rankings from Chris and David. If you are on YouTube, you should see these on the screen, but we'll go through these one by one. We started at the bottom the last couple weeks. We're going to save that for the end. Okay. Let's start at the top. You guys are in lockstep for the top four Atlantic teams. Both of you have Clemson 1, Wake Forest 2, NC State 3, and Syracuse at 4, and a big matchup between the Wolfpack and the Orange this weekend.
I'm very excited for that. I don't remember what time. You know what time that game's at? I don't remember. I've got friends that cover both teams, so I will be keeping up with that one. That's kind of like, I was gonna think that's like the premier ACC matchup of the weekend, and then you got Clemson, Florida State on ABC at 7:30. So
yeah, I mean, as far as name factor, that one certainly is.
Correct. Yes.
I think Clemson's going to handle them though.
Yeah. Well, I think I'm very excited to see kind of if Syracuse is for real this week.
And that game's at 3:30.
Okay. And Clemson's not going to be anywhere but number one on this list for either one of us unless they lose a game. So
going forward, a little bit of difference here at 5 and 6. Chris, you like UNC at 5 and 1 a little bit better than Florida State. Mm-hmm. David, you have the Noles ahead of the Heels.
Yeah, I kind of just they played at NC State close.
Yeah.
They were winning like 17-3.
They were winning until the fourth quarter, and then they kind of fell apart. North Carolina Duke this weekend is going to be a really interesting one.
Yeah, Duke's kind of going in the wrong. We can talk about them later. I've got North Carolina over Florida State for the simple fact that I think Drake May would be the great equalizer and would be the best player on either team. So,
yeah.
7, you guys both have the Pitt Panthers after their win against the Hokies this weekend. In 8, Chris, we're seeing a rapid ascension of the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets.
It must be insane how bad of a coach Jeff Collins was, because they could never win with him, and all of a sudden he gets fired and they win 2 in a row, 2 ACC games. I mean, they have 2 ACC wins, which is more than Miami, that's why I have them 8th, is that they've won 2 in a row. So what have you done for me lately? Well, they've won 2 in a row, and they're both ACC wins, so I've got them at 8th.
David, you've got Miami holding strong at 8. I believe you had them there that last week too. No movement after a 3-point loss.
What? When it comes to like that middle group, like none of those teams impress me at all. And and Duke goes out and loses. I think I had Duke at 7 last week. I have Duke at 9 this week. I have Georgia Tech at 10. I could have put Georgia Tech higher. I'm still not sold on Georgia
I'm not
Tech.
sold. It's just a what have you done for me lately
That's true.
thing. Yeah.
And Chris, you have Miami 9. Duke is at 10. And then you guys have the same bottom 4 in the same order. Louisville gets a nice little bump. They were in the cellar for both of you last week, all the way up to 11.
Deservedly, because they lost to Boston College. And now they won on the road with their backup quarterback.
Without Malik Cunningham. Goes out. They thumped UVA.
They sure did.
In 12, Hokies fans not happy to be in 12th, but better than 13th or 14th.
I think did I bump them up one spot?
One of you did. I forget. One of you had them 13.
Yeah, I think I probably did. And I had BC higher than Tech last week. Again, what have you done for me lately? It's just power rankings. But now I have BC back. BC lost.
BC got killed
as soon as BC lost the game, they were going to go back below Tech in my rankings, and they did. They played Clemson and lost.
31-3 was the final
and
there.
That was 3-3 late in the second quarter, actually. Yep. So I'm like, are they going to be able to pull this off? And I'm like, nah, there's no way they can score a touchdown against Clemson.
Clemson cover was never in doubt.
So, to me, they're 13th, and they get the nod over
a brilliant
something Hokies fans can rejoice about. David and Chris both have Virginia at dead last.
I mean, they lost at home to a Louisville team that has played poorly this year with their backup quarterback. The backup quarterback for Louisville went on the road and beat UVA in front of about what looked like 25,000 people or thereabout in the picture I saw on Twitter.
Let me pose this question: what do you think the score would have been if Abanikanda did not play? Like if Pitt's backup running back was out?
That's a great question.
Because
looking back, when none of us thought he was going to play.
Yeah, and so I don't know how much of it would change stuff.
It would change,
but I don't think, like, obviously he ran for 6 touchdowns and 300 yards. It's going to change a lot, but the fact that Malik Cunningham is out and it looked like the score looked like he played.
You put at least another 10 points up there for Louisville, I would say.
Yeah,
right?
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, so I don't see how you could pick UVA anywhere but last this week.
Thanksgiving week can't get here soon enough.
You know, they
2-4 and 2-4. What are the chances there are 6 combined wins between Virginia and Virginia Tech heading into that game?
Well, they're already combined for 4.
I think they'll get 2 at least.
Yeah, I think so. I would set it at like 7.5, something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, but at any rate, like UVA. First, their defense was hanging in there earlier in the year and playing much better, but now they're starting to collapse even on the defensive side of the ball while not showing much improvement on offense. Their running game is horrible.
Yeah.
What did they say? They had like 20 carries for 2 yards.
Maybe they shouldn't have fired their offensive coordinator that's currently at Syracuse.
Well,
And Wayne Talapapa also having a lot of success with the top 10 Washington team, or at least they were heading into last week.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's true.
So there we go. Virginia at 14. Hokie. It could be one of the more competitive Commonwealth clashes in a long time.
That's
I don't know. They've all been competitive.
That's true.
recently.
They have been competitive lately.
Yeah.
Hopefully we see that trend continue, and hopefully the Hokies come out on top again. So there are your ACC power rankings for this week. Some big matchups at the top this week with, again, Clemson playing Florida State and NC State playing Syracuse. So could see some more shuffle at the top in those Atlantic teams in next week's edition.